Hi, everybody. This is Jonathan and Kyle from Document Center and Mnemonic. We'll be starting in just a couple minutes, so if you want to grab if you want to grab a cup of coffee or a glass of water, go for it, and we'll get started. We'll give everybody just a couple more minutes to log in. There's still some people logging in from all around the world, so that's really great to see. So a couple minutes, then we'll get started. If you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like to let us know about, please just put that into the question panel on the right-hand side. And we will also be sharing the slides of this presentation after the call today. So I'll give everybody another minute or so. I still see people logging in. We're almost at the 100 person mark, so that's great. I think we have a couple hundred people registered today. So great to see so many customers and other folks in the industry joining us today, SDOs and other parties. So we're just a minute here. Yeah. Okay, great. So just a couple of housekeeping items before we get started. If you have any questions throughout the presentation this morning or this afternoon, depending where you are, please put those into the questions panel on the right-hand side of GoToWebinar. We will be sharing a copy of the slides after the presentation, as well as a video recording of this presentation. So if you want to share it with anybody, please feel free to do so. We don't have any polls or handouts or anything like that today. There is a chat as well. But please feel free to put in those questions. We'll either address them during the presentation or afterwards. I would probably only have about 20, 30 minutes of presentation at most. We're here just to receive questions, make sure everybody understands where we're headed with Document Center and Mnemonic, and hopefully get everybody excited about what we're doing. So let's get started. I'm gonna share my screen and it should pop up on everybody's side. Hopefully you can see Document Center, Acquisition, and Integration. All right. So I'll just very briefly introduce myself. Some of you may know me, some of you may not. So I'm Jonathan. I am the founder and president of Mnemonic. I've been working in compliance for about 15 years. We started the company in 2008, so just about 15 years. I'm an engineer by training, kind of take pride in that. So I have an engineering mindset about a lot of these problems and have worked with engineering standards and industry standards in my previous career. So super excited to be able to work with Kyle and the team at Document Center. And just a little bit about Mnemonic, we'll go into more detail afterwards, but we've been working with companies all around the world for 15 years, helping them mostly comply with regulatory requirements. We have worked with standards, but a big part of this acquisition integration will be delivering more standards information to our customer base, and we'll get into a bit more detail. But that's myself. I'm based in Montreal, Canada, but I travel a fair bit and hope to meet lots of you in person eventually. So let me pass it over to Kyle here.
Yeah, hi, my name is Kyle Buck, and I'm now the Vice President at Mnemonic. I was the main operator at Document Center since 2010. Since I joined Doc Center, I was able to grow revenue by about 100%. I helped create and implement our multi-user standards platform, Standards Online, and have been an active member in the standards community. Now, as Vice President, I'm working on integrating Document Center with Mnemonic while still running the day-to-day operations and sales here in a slightly overcast but kind of sunny California Bay Area. So as we get moving, we'll kind of go over the agenda here. Initially starting out talking about Document Center. Yeah, so at the end of last year, we were officially acquired by Mnemonic. It's a really amazing time for us here at Document Center. We've been selling standards since 1982, and this marks a new chapter in our business. We definitely still plan on to continue selling standards, and we plan on doing it well. But now with Mnemonic, we have the chance to offer our customers more than just standards. Our team here has only been working with Mnemonic for a couple of weeks, but it's been really great, and we're super excited for the future. For those of you not familiar with Document Center, we're a standards aggregator. We've been so since the early 80s. We have standards agreements with a lot of the major standards publishers that was noted on the previous slide. We provide standards to the end users in paper, PDF, and multi-user subscription format. Since we've been around for so long, 40 years, crazy, our customers really range from aerospace, medical device, semiconductor, oil and gas, defense. Our goal has always been to try and cover as many industries as we can for our customers. I have already kind of mentioned, we have a little bit about what we do at Document Center, and that's noted again here in this slide. Paper, PDF, subscription are all here. And I think the point of this slide is to reiterate that everything Document Center is currently doing, we will continue to do. Our alert service to track and notify, still happening. Providing standards in different formats, still happening. Now with Mnemonic, we'll have more resources like their global teams noted here to continue providing our excellent customer service.
Great, thanks, Kyle. And the whole team here at Mnemonic's super excited to have Kyle and his team on board. We've been collaborating for a few months during the acquisition process and working on our plans, and we've hit the ground running here in the new year. So I'll talk a little bit about Mnemonic, just who we are, go into a bit more detail, and then talk a little bit about the integration plans, timelines, and how all of our customers and partners can help us integrate and deliver more value for standards users around the world. So just briefly about Mnemonic, we're based in Montreal, Canada. Started in 2008. We have offices in Calgary, Toronto, Shanghai, and China, and now in Oakland with Document Center. We have about 700 or 800 customers. If we add the Document Center customers, we're about 800 customers. These are subscribing companies. So we're not counting in here all the retail customers that we have through Document Center, but 800 subscribing companies that are obtaining either regulatory data or standards or both through our platform. And our focus at Mnemonic has always been on mid-size international companies or companies that operate internationally. Some of the logos on the right-hand side here are bigger companies that we all know, but actually our niche is mid-size. When we say mid-size, we're talking about 500 to 25,000 employees in general. We have smaller companies, we have bigger companies, but these are companies that want a solution that's cost effective, that's easy to use, and they can get set up quite rapidly. And one of the reasons why we're so excited about Document Center was that they have very similar customer base in terms of size, in terms of level of sophistication, companies that are building products that are being sent into multiple jurisdictions or that have multiple sites. So it was a really good fit just looking at our customer base. So our core customers is these medium-sized companies that manufacture and sell complex products, whether it's medical devices, car parts, aerospace. They also have sophisticated operations. We're talking about laboratories, testing facilities, etc. And fundamentally, the companies that we strive to work with are those that are constantly trying to improve their management of conformance to standards and compliance to regulations. We want to help businesses tackle these issues proactively. Those are really the customers we love to work with. And so one point that we definitely want to make here is Mnemonic and Document Center, but the combined companies are run by engineers and people with science backgrounds. And we run this company for engineers and scientists. So we're not just investors that are trying to make a buck here. We really believe in providing high quality information in an easy to use format that empowers engineers and scientists to do their job. We have a team at Mnemonic that includes analysts who add value to the regulations and standards. So we do more than just give you the standard. We certainly can do that, and we will continue to do that, as Kyle has explained, but we add value. So we add analysis, we add tags, metadata that help you find the information that's relevant for your business and your products. And because Mnemonic was built on selling access to regulations, which are generally speaking free and publicly available, to make our business viable and to deliver value for our customers, we had to put a lot of emphasis on that analysis and supplemental information. We're going to apply a lot of that technology, knowledge, and work to the standards world. We have integrated software and product teams who not only are great, but they also want your feedback. So if you have requests, concerns, ideas, please send them our way. So we're going to be reaching out to our customers, Document Center customers, over the coming months to make sure we build the best product that fulfills the needs of our customers. All of our software development, everything is done in-house. And so we have a great team here. And then last point here is we have amazing customer success people, both at Document Center and Mnemonic, who are going to help you find and manage the standards, regulations, and information you need, and build workflows and tools to make that as seamless as possible. So we have teams now on the West Coast of the United States where Document Center is based, East Coast, Canada, Europe, and our office in Shanghai. So we really do have a global coverage that can service your company wherever you might be around the world, in multiple languages as well, I would add. All right. So don't forget to put in questions on the right-hand side if you have any. So what does Mnemonic sell? I mean, I've talked a little bit about Mnemonic, we've talked about Document Center, but what are we fundamentally offering our customers? So we're going to keep the retail portion where you can buy PDFs and print for sure. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be integrating all the standards into our existing compliance management solution. So this is a web-based tool. It's called Mnemonic App, and it's a tool that allows you to manage regulations, standards, and your own documents. So not only can you get access to regulations and standards and manage those and get notified when they change, you can also upload your own internal documents. So these can be engineering documents, specifications, customer requirements, and then connect those together with the requirements that are in regulations and standards. So what we do is we identify requirements across many areas, and with our customers, we'll select which areas matter for your business or your role. These can be quality related, environmental, health and safety, cybersecurity, testing. So we define a scope, and then we work with your teams to identify the regulations and standards that likely apply. You can then upload your company documents. These can be permits to operate, design documents, customer requirements, and then you can issue actions and periodically conduct audits on the platform. So what we're doing is we're bringing together regulations, standards, and your company documents. And for many years, what we did for standards is we could only notify our customers when a standard changed, and we would provide a link to go purchase the standard on the standard development organization's website. And I've always felt that this was a big hole in our product because regulations and standards are so intertwined that it's really important to have access to both at the same time and ideally in the same place. So when the opportunity came up with Kyle and his team to join forces, we really thought this was a fantastic mix because over time, we will be able to allow you to click in a regulation on a specific standard, be taken right into that standard, select the parts of the standard that matter to your business, link those back to your company documents, and issue the appropriate action. So really the goal here is an integrated solution for compliance or conformance, depending how you want to call it. So we have this workflow at a high level. What we do is we identify the documents that likely apply to your project or your company. These can be regs, standards, and those company documents. We then help you identify the specific requirements that are of high importance, and you have filtering tools and all sorts of stuff. You can then link those requirements up with your documents, controls, systems, engineering, documents, plans, issue actions, and conduct audits. So this is the sort of 5-step workflow that we try and get our customers to work on. And there's 5 core products that Mnemonic offers, and the standards can be baked into all of these. So you have a newsletter. That newsletter allows you to receive updates similar to the Document Center offering around alerts. A library, basically a huge database of documents, regulations, standards, guidance documents, and other things. You can then build lists. So these are documents that would apply to a specific part of your business, a specific project you're working on. And from there, you can link those back to your documents. These are, again, the engineering documents, design documents, and conduct actions and audits. So somewhat of a summary here is we have really a simple goal, or at least it sounds simple. It might be a little bit hard to execute on, but the goal itself is simple. And we want to offer everybody an affordable, and I put emphasis there, an affordable solution to manage your requirements across all of these documents. That's ultimately what we're trying to offer our customers. So, integration. And I see there's a couple questions coming in. I think we'll keep those to the end, and I'm happy to jump back to the appropriate slide as we get there. So integration plans. The first thing I would like to point out here is Document Center is the 5th acquisition that Mnemonic has done. So the point here is it's not our first rodeo. We started the company in 2008, and we've done these 5 acquisitions throughout the years. I won't go into too much detail, but we have a team here that is very well versed in how to integrate products, services, and companies together. And we've already started working very intensely with Document Center to get this done as quickly as we can and make sure that it's really appropriate for all the customers. So in terms of a timeline of what we're working on, and I want to give clarity to everybody who's interested, So we announced the acquisition, I think 2 weeks ago. We have already begun transition and product improvements. And our goal is this spring in May or June to migrate the subscribers from Document Center's standards online platforms. Document Center has a subscription for those of you who aren't using it yet, and please do start using it right away. But for those of you who aren't using it yet, Document Center has a subscription platform called Standards Online where you can access the standards that you need. So our first step is migrating the customers that use that service and all the standards to our integrated subscription platform, and we're hoping to do that by May or June of this year. And we'll be showing a preview of that integrated solution at the SES conference in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I believe it's April 9th, 10th, and 11th this year. So Kyle and myself will be in Pittsburgh. It'd be great to meet you in person if you want to come out to the SES conference. And then towards the end of the year, we're planning to migrate the print and PDF purchases, or the retail portion of the business, to a new and more modern solution that will just have a better store experience, a better experience for discovering documents, purchasing documents, downloading them. And then over the course of the following year, we're going to slowly migrate all the Document Center brand. And so eventually, we'll just be called Mnemonic, and you'll have the Mnemonic store for the standards as well as the subscription platform. But we definitely have a great appreciation for what Document Center has built over 40 years, really amazing, and their brand, which is loved and appreciated by so many. So we're going to maintain that brand for at least a year and a half and make sure that everybody understands that this is really an integrated company with Kyle in a leadership position and growing this business. And ultimately, over the long term, our goal, like every business, is to grow, but we really want to offer a fully integrated service for all of our users. So when it comes to standards offering, right now, Document Center works with a few dozen standard development organizations, and this probably won't come as much of a surprise, but our goal is to broaden our standards offering. So because we have customers in nearly every industry, we want to be able to offer a comprehensive solution where ultimately, if you want a standard and that standard exists, we want Mnemonic to be the place that you go to get that standard or regulation. And so over the coming years, we've already been engaged in discussions with various standard development organizations, and we're hoping to make some announcements in the next few months about new ones who will be joining us, and our goal is to broaden that as much as possible. So if you would like some of the standards organizations you work with to be available on Mnemonic in PDF or XML or other formats, please don't hesitate to mention that to them. Any help you can provide us is greatly appreciated as we work with our SDO partners. So a little bit about the product itself and what we're working on. Before doing the acquisition, we took a hard look at the various solutions on the market for managing standards. And a lot of people have tried some interesting things, whether it's IHS and Workbench, MadCAD, CSA Advantage, and there's others out there that are on this list. And we think they're all good efforts. I mean, I don't want to disparage anything. I think a lot of people have tried a lot of things, but most of the organizations that have been behind these initiatives have not fundamentally been technology companies. They've usually been SDOs themselves publishing standards, or maybe aggregators and resellers. But Mnemonic is fundamentally a technology company. And so we think we have a unique set of skills, having worked with regulations for many years and software, to be able to deliver something new, innovative, and very user-friendly. So a lot of inspiration for what we're doing is coming from, say, what Spotify did, which I think most people will be familiar with, is we went from CDs, or even before then cassettes and vinyl, through the piracy age to iTunes, where you could buy a CD or you could buy songs, to now most people, I think, subscribe to an online music system, whether it's Spotify or Apple Music or Tidal or something like that. Because why do we subscribe to these systems? Even though they cost us some money, you have access to all the music more or less ever created at the click of a button. You have added functionality like playlists, music management, recommendations, and it's all at an affordable price. I'd say if we boil it down, those are the three main reasons why people have a subscription to these systems. And we think standards should be pretty similar. So we're going to be rolling out some core functionality in the next year on the platform, and we'll show that at SES in May. But Redline, which is pretty standard, the ability to build lists, ability to annotate, comment, link documents to your engineering documents, and then link regulations and standards together. We're already hard at work on that. And then after that, we have some ideas, and we have a long list of ideas, but some of the ones we're most excited about is the ability to quickly flip a standard into a checklist and be able to do that checklist on iPad and iPhone with our auditing software. I'll be able to include supporting documents. So when you purchase a standard with us, we also want to eventually offer you documentation, videos, and resources to help you implement the standard. And AI is, of course, a hot topic these days, but I think one of the most exciting things we've looked at is a chatbot that would allow you to ask questions to a standard, allow questions to supporting documents, and get some interactive feedback from the system. So these are some of the things we're working on. We're super excited to show this to you at SES in April. So again, just to restate, our goal is, it's pretty simple, is we want to make standards and digital requirements management easy and affordable. We don't want this to just be a tool for the Fortune 500 or for companies that have hundreds of thousands of dollars to spend on standards. We want this to be affordable and available for any company that wants to respect standards and regulations in an organized manner. So that's it. That's the little presentation we had for you today. We do open product demos, so please tune in, stay on our email list. You can join those to get a more technical presentation. We do those every few weeks, and then again, we'll be at SES in April. So without further ado, let's turn it over for questions. I mean, Kyle, if you have anything specific you want to add that maybe I went through too quickly or anything, please jump in. But and also pop your questions into the questions panel here on the right-hand side, please.
Yeah, I think you covered a lot, but I think, one of the things that drew Document Center to joining Mnemonic was just the ability to offer more. We go through all the technology and all the ability to do more than just PDF, paper, and the multi-user is exciting. I think that's the way that the standards usage is going to go in the future. I think it's an opportunity for the end users to get a product that works best for them. And in general, it's a great chance for us to really do something that'll shake up the marketplace and help the end user. In general, and that's the whole goal of the business, is to help the end users get the information they need. And I think that's what our product will do.
Yep. And one of the things we noticed at Document Center was they have a great reputation for customer service and for helping their customers find the right information. And I think Mnemonic had a similar reputation. And so we just felt it was a great, not just a product fit, not just the customers, but also a great cultural fit. And Kyle's been fantastic along with the rest of the team. So we're super excited. Let me turn to the questions here, and please feel free to ask more questions. I'll just go through them. So we have Francis asking if this will include standards from Canadian organizations as well. We're working on it, Francis. So we will be able to offer ISO, IEC standards in Canada very shortly, and we have CGSB standards in the system. We are certainly keen to have CSA Group as part of our partners, and we're working towards that. So certainly it's part of our plans. Question from Amanda is, I don't understand if we can continue to use the Document Center website or switch to Mnemonic. So I'll let Kyle answer that one since he's the Doc Center guy.
Yeah, great question. You can still use the Document Center website, document-center.com. That will still work. You can still order standards, things of that nature, all still set. That should be no issues there. Over time, if the address will change, we'll still have it redirect. You can still use the Document Center to go to their webpage for the foreseeable future. So no issues there.
Yep, and you can keep emailing them at info@documentcenter.com and Kyle's Document Center email. So everything stays the same in terms of accessing Document Center and talking to people at Document Center. The office stays the same in Oakland, and billing and all of that stays the same. Document Center Inc., the legal entity, remains the same, unchanged. So if you're a Document Center customer, basically no changes. If you're a subscriber, we will migrate you, but that'll be in the spring, and we'll give you a heads up and training and support and everything. But if you're just retail, no change. Okay, Rachel is asking, can we choose more than one area? I think, Rachel, you must be speaking about the different areas of quality, environment, safety that we were talking about earlier in the slide deck. Yes, for sure. So we can do everything. We have some companies that come to us and say, I want to know every regulation and standard that applies to me, and I want to track all of them for changes and manage them. We can do that. Or we can have a much narrower scope if you want to focus on just one area. And Rachel's also asking if she can get a copy of the presentation so that she can share with her VP of QA. For sure, Rachel, we'll send that out by email to everybody that registered, so you can share that as widely as you like. All right, so will Mnemonic, coming from Eddie, will Mnemonic provide redline Delta copies of the standards for users? Yes, for sure, absolutely. It's we already do redline on mnemonic for regulations, and as soon as we can get all the standards data into our platform, you will receive a redline version of standards as well for sure. So that should be ready very shortly. Okay, so Victor's asking, for someone like me in South Africa who recently registered an EHS consultancy firm, is there a generic software that you would recommend to enable me to seamlessly conduct audits for my clients with a quick turnaround? Well, for sure, I would recommend Mnemonic. So I didn't write this question, Victor, but so yeah, I mean, Mnemonic has an auditing platform. You can load in your own questionnaires. You can use the regulations, and you have an iPad and an Android tool that allows you to. You can do this based on a standard. It can be based on a regulation. You go through it, write your findings, collect evidence, photos, and you can spit out a report right afterwards. So if you want a demo, Victor, send us an email and we'll set something up for you. Okay, I'll let the next one to you, Kyle, because it's coming from a medical device. Can you see the questions, Kyle? Are you able to see them?
I cannot see the questions.
Okay. All right, so I'll read it and I'll let Kyle answer. So as a medical device manufacturer, we need to have certain paperwork in our supplier files. Where do we send new forms to for completion since the document center has been changed to mnemonic?
So if there's new forms that need to be completed, you can still send it to the info@document-center.com email address. We still are here, happy to answer everything and continue that ongoing in terms of filling out any forms or updating anything on your end. Again, the document center entity still exists. Our location is still here. So in terms of most of that stuff, actually, most things are unchanged in terms of new information. But again, that would be the place to send it. We can definitely fill it out for there.
Great. Yeah, again, just contact Kyle, contact info@documentcenter.com, and he'll be more than happy to help you. Next question is coming from Alzeda. How do you subscribe to Document Center's online center or online offering, I suppose?
Great question. We have a landing page on our website where you can go ahead and get more information, fill out the form, and then someone will contact you with more information. Also, too, feel free to email us, info@document-center.com. Any of our salespeople will reach out and give you information about our standards online subscription format. So we can definitely help you out that way. So either on our website, we have a form you can fill out, or you can email us directly and we can get in contact with you. So definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be happy to do a demonstration and provide a quote. So how can we view the available standards? This is coming from Brenda. For Kyle, maybe.
Yeah, so viewing the available standards. So for the retail side, I would just say our store, right? Our store has all of our items listed in there. You can always use the search functionality through there to find everything. In terms of the subscription, again, most publishers are available on there, but we recommend reaching out to us, again, through the form and inquiring about standards online, or again, emailing or calling us and talking to some of our sales reps here. That way we can let you know about the more information and standards that are included in the online platform at this time.
Yeah, and Brenda, if you're asking about which standards are available on the mnemonic platform, it's basically going to be what is in the current Document Center subscription platform. So it's not quite ready yet on mnemonic side, but in terms of the offering today, it will be what Document Center already offers. So reach out to Document Center and they can give you a scope, and certainly if you have other needs, we can work to fill those. All right, so question from, we got a lot of questions here, this is great. We got a question from Barbara about how will this change how ANAB uses mnemonic. So ANAB, Barbara, it doesn't really change anything for you. I mean, for sure, we'd love to help you access more standards and get access to that. So feel free to reach out to us at Mnemonic and we can talk about that for ANAB. But as far as the auditing and assessment that you're doing with Mnemonic, everything stays the same there. All right. Kim is asking, do you have EU MDGC documents? And I got to admit, I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is, Kyle? MDGC.
Yeah. I think they might be talking about some of the med dev directives that are happening on the EU. Currently, Document Center does track those items. And so, yes, we have them. And then in terms of working with Mnemonic, they have a huge collection of regs. And so I definitely think they probably have it already stored in there, but I can definitely talk to their data team and make sure that that's something that's in there as well.
Yeah, again, if it's a bit more regulatory in nature, Kim, you can certainly reach out to Document Center or ourselves, and we can look into that in more detail. But if Document Center covers it, then it's a good start, and Mnemonic can probably cover it too if it's a regulatory item. Okay, Marie is asking, we use Doc Center as a library management tool. We purchase standards through Doc Center, but we do not have an enterprise account. Will we be required to subscribe, or can we continue to use the platform as we have been?
Great question. You can still use it as is. The whole goal of this is to continue what you're doing, but if you want more, want something that gives you more tools to make your life a little easier, that option's now out there. Document Center originally was kind of limited in the scope of what we could offer the end user, and now with Mnemonic, I think there's an opportunity to provide more. But again, if what you have is currently what you're happy with, that's not changing. You are still able to have exactly what you have currently.
Yep, for sure. All right, from Famida, do we have to purchase individual documents in Mnemonic, or is it a one-time subscription fee to access all the regulations and standards? So for Mnemonic, it is a subscription because not only do you get access to the regulations and standards and the tools to manage that, but you also get all the updates when the standards change or when the regulations change. So we have a team here that's updating everything. You get alerts, action items. If you're interested, certainly shoot us an email. We're happy to go into more detail. If you just want to buy a copy of the standard, documentcenter.com is the place to go. You buy it, you download it, or you get it in print format. Nothing there changes. And then if you want a whole system to manage the data and get updates, then Mnemonic would be a great option for you. So what do you mean, question coming from Sylvia, what do you mean by a retail customer? I think it's being compared to a subscriber, but I'm not sure. So yeah, just to clarify, when we say retail, what we're talking about is the store where you're buying a PDF or a print version of a standard. So PDF, you're going to download it, and print, we send it to you through the mail. The other platform, which is Document Center's platform, is called Standards Online, and Mnemonic's platform is called Mnemonic. But basically, that's the subscription platform. So if you're buying retail, we're talking about PDFs and print, download, one time, and it's for your own use, not for your whole organization. And if you want to be a subscriber and give access to many people and manage it, then you would want to use Standards Online from Document Center, which will be migrated into Mnemonic this spring and summer.
And just to follow up on that, in case she's asking about like tracking and notifications, we still track and manage that on both retail and subscription. That is just a core part of the business on tracking and notifying when things are updated. So if you already have a notification service with us and you consider that a subscription, that's mainly a retail thing. It still happens on the retail because you're just actually purchasing either a PDF or hard copy of those items. And notifications and tracking happens regardless, whereas subscription is a little bit higher up in a multi-user format to access standards on a different platform than the retail site.
Great. So question here coming from Nevin. One issue we have had with our previous provider is having a number of seats that can view standards. When a new version of a standard would come out, we would have issues with all applicable groups not being able to read the standards at the same time. Will this be the case with this product as well? I don't know if you want to take a stab at that, Kyle, or I can, I guess.
Yes, it depends on the publisher. Some items do have concurrency things on where making sure that there's multiple users on the platform. But again, we can always discuss that with you on how many concurrent users you want on the service to begin with. So there wouldn't be an issue with having that sort of multiple people looking at the same standard. Other publishers are fine where it's more site-based in terms of the access, and it doesn't matter how many users are on the platform. So again, there's ways that we can discuss with you if that's an issue in terms of having multiple people try viewing the standard. We can definitely work with you on making sure that the service we provide is tailored to your fit on there.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of the constraints that are put on the standards, whether it's concurrent users or DRM and watermarking and things like that, just so everybody knows, most of those constraints are coming from the publisher. They say they put certain limits on how they want their data to be used, and we respect that and transfer that over. So we'll do our best to find a solution for you, Nevin. Feel free to reach out to Kyle and The goal again is to make sure everybody has the right information at their fingertips. That's our goal to the best of our ability. Okay, a question from Sue. Will a subscription include all standards and regulations or just what we subscribe to? So in the case of mnemonic, it's just the regulations or the areas that you're interested in. So if you were to say we're interested in environmental regulations in the state of New York, then you would subscribe to that. And then when it comes to standards, there are packages for certain publishers. And then in some cases, you may want to subscribe to specific standards. So again, it depends on the publishers. I don't know, Kyle, if you want to add anything to that one.
Yeah, I would just say I think that would be a more detailed conversation with the end user on what they're looking for. There's obviously packages and certain options in terms of different publishers having blocks of standards where other ones might be individually priced. But again, I think we would want to work with end users, see what they actually need, and then find the best fit by being the most cost-effective option based on sort of what they're looking for.
Yeah, and I guess that's one point for those of you who are on the call with us today is we want Mnemonic and Document Center to be your most cost-effective option for purchasing standards and accessing standards. So if ever you find a better price, let us know. We'll be happy to match it and even beat it.
But that's I think we're competitive now. I think I don't think that should show up, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, Document Center's always been competitive, but we just want to reinforce that point here. How often, so next question is coming from Philip. How often do you refresh regulatory data for each province, Quebec, Ontario, Alberta, BC, Nova Scotia, Manitoba? Basically within 2 to 4 days of government publication. So usually 2 to 4 days after the government publishes, we publish the regulatory updates, the proposed legislation, the amendments. So very fast. If you find someone who has a faster gun in the West, let us know. But we think we're as fast as it gets on the speed there, especially in Canada and the US and other certain countries around the world. All right, Azimun is asking, will there be a gap analysis available for revised standards? I'll pass that one over to Kyle.
Yeah, I mean, that's red lines, what I think she's asking about in terms of what's changed on previous additions to new revs. And that is something that Mnemonic has the capabilities to do. So part of the goal of having Document Center join with Mnemonic is to be able to offer that on standards as well, so that when a new rev happens, you can see what the changes are between previous revs to where we're at currently.
Yep, and we have some ideas of how to make that even better, and we'll get there. But yeah, the goal is to make, again, it easy for everybody to get access to the right information and then understand what's changing and what the requirements are. All right, so Ryan is asking, do current Mnemonic subscribers have full access to document sorter resources today, or is this an additional offering available at a later date? So Ryan, you can purchase a PDF and print version of the standards on their store. In terms of it being fully integrated into Mnemonic's platform, that will happen around June of this year, but there will be a charge because, again, the publishers, whether it's ANSI, whether it's IEC, ISO, etc., the publishers, they charge for access to the standards. They're copyright protected like a book. And so you need to purchase a legal copy of it, again, like a book or music or movies. And so we'll be able to offer that to you as part of your subscription package, but we need to discuss your needs, and then we can give you a quote and then discuss how that can get integrated into your account. But if you want to just purchase a PDF of a standard, you can go to Document Center and we'll be certain to offer you the best price available. So a question coming from Diana, will you continue to provide the service where you notify us of updates to standards via alert list that we provide to you and pay for?
Yes, definitely. We will continue to do that. That is unchanged. Happy to continue that service.
Great. And then I had a clarification from Philip, who asked a question earlier. I'm not sure where the question went, but yeah, we do cover EHS regulatory content throughout 32 countries, so we should have you all set there. Will there be an additional cost? So Nevin's asking, will there be an additional cost to add standards to our subscription? Yes, there are some standards out there that are freely available, such as CGSB and others. Those we make available as part of our package. But as soon as the standard is copyright protected, we need to charge for it because, well, legally speaking, and we have to remit money to the publisher. And the vast majority of the money goes to the publisher because they're the ones doing the work of creating the standards and managing them. So we do have to charge for that. Do you have AIAG standards as well? So I believe that's the automotive ones. Do you have some of those, Kyle?
Yeah, we do have those currently in print format. We can provide the AIAG standards. I know something we're talking about in our list of being able to offer in more formats for the end user. So definitely on some of our list to gain more access, but currently paper formats how we provide AIAG standards.
Okay, yeah, and we'll be growing our offering of standards over the next couple of years. So stay tuned. You should see announcements as we sign up new publishers and expand our relationships with the publishers. And the last question here from Renee Mark is, sorry, there's another question just came in, but one question here from Renee Mark is, do you cover US law publication or regulations? Yes, we do. So if you're looking for federal level or state level data, we provide both acts, the codes, the statutes, everything in the US with alerts and identification requirements. So if you need some specific items in the US, specific states or industries, let us know, and we're happy to provide a quote and discuss how we can help you. Just send us an email to info@mnemonic.com. And then Jennifer is asking, do we currently have access to CSA standards? The short answer is no. Unfortunately, we don't, but we are working and hope to be able to offer CSA standards in the future. Certainly, if you want to slip a word to the CSA and say how much you would love to have them on Mnemonic, that would always be helpful. But we're having active discussions, and we hope to be able to offer CSA standards in the future. We just can't do so at the moment. Yeah. Great. Do we have any other questions or anything else that either Kyle or myself can clarify? Okay, Renee Mark's asking for a follow-up, so we'll do that. Oh, sure, Renee Mark, we'll send you an email. Any other questions, clarifications? Please pop those into the chat message here. I just want to extend my thanks to everybody who joined us today, and especially to Kyle and the entire team for making the transition so smooth so far. And we're super excited.
So far, early on. No, so far so good. It's been a really, really exciting time, and it's been wonderful to get all you know all of you in Canada as well, and we've just been really happy where we are.
Yeah, so great. Well, thank you everybody for joining today. We will share a copy of the presentation and the video today. And if you want a demonstration or a discussion either about the standards online, the subscription platform, or Mnemonic's regulatory platform, let us know. And towards April and May, we'll start doing showcases of the integrated solution with both the standards and the regs fully integrated. So expect some emails and things throughout the spring months. And if you're coming to SES in Pittsburgh, let us know. Beer is on us.
Yeah, come say hi.
Come say hi, and we'll have a few beers and chat about where we're headed. So thanks again, everybody. Have a great day, great afternoon. Don't hesitate to reach out to us at Mnemonic and Document Center.
Right, thank you.